We're getting started in about a minute's time. I need to be sure I've sent, I shared the link to all the groups and platforms before we start. Okay, we've shared to every single group now. So let's get started. So I think we had a live session that was yesterday, and there was an issue with our video, an issue with the video, which I talked about on the I said that it was because of the wiring and the connections that wasn't available, and I would make sure I set it out today. We'll go back to having a proper video and also better sound than the issue of yesterday as well. So, but today we're going to be talking about something different. We'll be talking about how you can make $100,000 from cryptocurrencies in the Q4 of 2023. So we're in 2023, and we have like 120 days, if I'm not mistaken, before the year is over. I'm getting to 2024, so we have few days left, in about 8 days left in September. We have October, we have November, we have December. So approximately that's 98. So let's say 100 days. So we have about 100 days before the year is over. Now, is it possible for you to make $100,000 in the next 100 days? Yes, and I'm going to be showing you how you can actually do this. And now, there are a lot of people who are doing a lot of content and sharing a lot of informations out there. And if you've been following me for a long time now, one of the things you should have come to understand and know is I prefer teaching something I've been able to do practically over time and within that range. Just like the session we had yesterday when I was teaching how you can grow a small crypto trading account. It's something I've done over and over and over again, and decided to share the tips I gave yesterday. Now, if you haven't watched the video that was done yesterday and you were not in yesterday's session, you want to go back and watch the video on the channel. You're going to learn a lot, and you want to see how you can start applying them for your own self. Now, then going back to today, talking about 100,000. I think when I made a post earlier today, I also highlighted a particular documentary video which my team pulled from 2018, 17 or so, where I was talking about making $100,000 and all that. So, and the principle of how you can get rich. And in that video, I was forecasting as a goal, talking about it and all that. And so, and by God's grace, we've been able to do that over and over, multiple numbers and multiple times over and over again, to the point where I am currently in my life. And now anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Once you've been able to, like we said, when you do something the first time, it is a game of, it could be a game of luck or chance. And if you do it the second time, it could be like an incident, a coincidence. It could just happen. But when you're able to do it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, it has moved from just a game of luck or chance or coincidence to becoming a skill. It's become a part of you, something you could do very well. You hear people who are very successful and very rich. They tell you, even if you take me from this location, carry me to anywhere in the world, and they will tell you that, and take all the money I have, and within the next 90 days, some will say within the next 1 year, I'll be able to make everything back all over again. They are not just bragging. As per se, when you hear people say that, people are successful say that, it's not about them bragging. Yes, it's like a statement of fact, because what makes a man is not what he has on the outward, but what he has on the inward. So whatever you have on the outward is a reflection of your inner deposit on the inward. Is a reflection of your capacity on the inward. Whatever you do, no, you know, we have what we call. There are two things in life that are actually very, very important, and which we cannot change. There are two things in life you cannot change, or should I say, you cannot control. That's the word. You cannot control these two things. No man on earth can control these two things. The only thing you can do is to understand these two things, manage these two things, know how you can harness them. And those two things is time and change. Time and change. We could refer to it as times and seasons. You cannot control times and seasons. You cannot control time and change. You can only understand how time and change works and then learn how to manage them. Now, people who are how you're able to understand time and change and how you can manage it is what has made you who you are today, where you are today, what you choose to invest your time in listening to, who you choose to invest your time in listening to, learning from, hearing from. What you choose to do is what will make you who you are today. How rich you are, how poor you are, it's encompassed in these two things: how you manage your time and the change of your life. The way you think, the way you reason is encompassed in these two things: how you manage your time and how you manage the changes in your life. These things, no man on earth can control it. The only thing you can do is to understand it and manage it, and how you manage it will determine what comes out of your life. Now, like you being here, you are taking time out of your day to hear from me, to listen to me. And now, whatever, when you begin to listen to a person, you hear from a person, what happens is that the realities of that person begins to come alive in your own life. It's the same thing, the same principle that boils down in religion, in pastoral sector, in business sector. That is just how it is. Who you choose to listen more to determines the realities you begin to experience and see functional in your own life. In your own life, it is just the fact. Now, people ask me more like, Shifu, what is the secret why you choose to live your life the way you live your life? Why do you do things the way you do things? And one of the things I tell them is, one, because of those I have chosen to spend time listening to. So the people I spend time listening to, looking to, being in their sessions, in their trainings, reading their books, already live this kind of life. And so it is not something I have to force or try to fake. It just comes naturally. And that's the same thing. We're going to talk about how you can make $100,000 from cryptos in Q4 2023. Now, in cryptos, there are a lot of ways people make money. People make money in various ways, in various sectors. And making $100,000, you can make it in various aspects of cryptocurrencies, actually. And you can make it by being creating a project and being a project owner as a developer. You can also make it as being a founder. You can also make it as being in trading and investments. You can also make it from crypto jobs and deals. You can also make it from crypto partnerships and all that. Now, apart from being a developer or creating a product which I haven't done yet, but I'm looking forward to probably creating my own project maybe by 2025. Looking at that probably by 2025 or the Q4 by 2025. That's going to be like in 1 to 2 years time from now. I have that in mind. But besides that aspect, which I haven't done at all, in the aspect of crypto deals and jobs and partnerships, I've done over 100K multiple times. And I think the first major bulk money I got from deals and jobs was about $70,000. Sorry, $12,000. Yes. Then after that, the second was around $40,000, and the third was around $70,000. And that's like the first bulk funds I got in that aspect and category. And maybe I'm going to do a video specifically on crypto deals and partnerships and jobs and all that, which the aspect. But for today, the one I've started over the years and I've been able to do, and even in crypto, is basically from trading and investing in crypto. It is one that the majority of us in the crypto space are more aligned with and more understand with. So we're going to fix on that sector. So there are various aspects of crypto people can make $100,000 out of in each of these aspects, but I just want to major on just one, and that is going to be through trading and investing in crypto. How you can make that amount of money in Q4 of this year through this aspect. Now, I'm going to give us one. I wrote there 4 different points or 4 different aspects to be able to get this. And one is what we call your strategy. Your strategy. Your strategy is the number one and most important thing. So, in the aspect of strategy, first thing I want to say is, if you do not have access to my course, which is the ITC course on the website, the best thing you want to do for yourself and the best investment you can ever do for yourself in this year 2023 is to go to the website on howuniversity.org and get that course and start learning that course, eat up that course as well. There's a special training that holds from time to time for those who have that course and who are in the ITC, because upgraded contents come in, and soon there will be an additional level of content on the course, like an upgrade that'll be coming in soon this Q4. You do not want to miss out, because you're going to learn a bit of my strategy from there on how I trade and how do the market. You can start making money, which we've seen a lot of people's testimonies from just that course alone. But now I'm going to give you a hint of the strategy I use, that is going to give you. So this is like whether you have the course already or you don't have the course already, you can just have an idea of the strategy I use. Now, strategy is very, very important. The reason why it is number one is because even if you have the best risk management, you have the best emotional capacity, if your strategy is a flop, you will not be able to make this amount of money within this period of time. It is not possible for you to get that amount of money, because the strategy is like the trigger that releases the bullet. And like I told you guys, that all strategies work, all trading strategies work. But the difference is that there are strategies that provide high probability trades, and there are strategies that provide just any trades. I repeat, there are two kinds of strategies, or should I say there are three kinds of strategies. Strategies that provide high probability trades, and strategies that provide any kinds of trade at all. Now, when I mean any kind of trade, is in a scale of 1 to 10, maybe you could lose 3 trades, 4 trades, 5 trades, 6 trades, and you could gain 4. Does that mean the strategy is not good? It means it's good. It means at least it makes you money. And if you have other aspects, which I call the 3 M's of trading involved, you can certainly succeed in using that strategy. So, but there are some strategies that have what we call high probability attached to it. So that means out of every 10 trades, you are sure and certain you're going to make as much as 7 out of 10 to 8 out of 10 of those trades. So if you are certain that if you're going to lose at all, it shouldn't be more than 2 in every 10 trades. So I'm using the law of ratios and the law of averages. So on an average of 10 trades taken, you're going to make 7 or 8, and you might lose 3 or 2. That is a strategy that provides. So you want to make sure you have a strategy that provides high probability concept at you. I'm not the only one having high probability strategies. There might be other people as well who have this high probability strategies as well, which you can decide to adopt this. But if you adopt it and still use what I teach, it can literally help you as well. But let me give you a hint of how I trade. Now, what I do is basically 3 different things. The first thing I do is I go to, whenever I want to trade, I go to the chart. So let me go to the chart as a case study. I just want to show you my trading strategy to get high probability trades. How do I do this now? Okay, let's use this chart. And let's use okay. So this was okay. Let me I don't know, let me use this. This was the first the other sell I entered around 28K or so, here to here, and then for this retracement. Let us use this. Let me use this, or should I use another time frame? Let me use it. Let me check if I can use another time frame. Let me use a trade that has not triggered yet. So it provides a certain level of opportunity and understanding. Okay, so now if you're watching with YouTube and the quality is poor, what you want to do is that you want to what's it called? If you click on the settings of your YouTube app, the app or so, you can click on upload improve video quality or view in a higher quality, something like that. Or so it will automatically optimize your app to use it on the highest quality I am streaming from. So you can now start seeing it clearly. So it's something you just do from your own app. It's from your end if you're having that issues as well. So let us do this using LPT as a case study. Now, the first thing I want to do is that I go on I get the trend. I look at the trend from the bigger time frame. And what is the bigger time frame? I look for the trend from the monthly time frame and the weekly time frame. So some assets are new. Like if you look here on this chart, we have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So this chart is barely 2 years on the monthly. So because of that, any charts or any coin or crypto that is barely a year, 2 years or so, I don't even care to look at the monthly at times. So I just go to the weekly to identify the trend. Why? Because I've not formed enough activity to be able to be sure what is doing. So if I look at the weekly, I'm able to identify, okay, this is the trend of this particular crypto coin. So as I'm able to identify the trend that, okay, this is the trend of this asset, the second thing I want to do is, so I could identify that the trend is bearish because it's forming what we call lower low, a lower high, lower low, and all that. And then it gets to the point whereby it breaks here, it becomes bullish, it breaks here, it becomes bullish. So on a weekly, the trend has shifted from being just bearish to being bullish. So that's the first thing. I identify the trend on the weekly time frame. If it's a chart that has more than 2, 3 years of existence, to like 4 years or 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, then I will look from the monthly to be able to navigate that. But if it's a lesser time frame, I just look on the weekly to identify the trend. Now, what's using crypto as our major focus and case study. So once I've identified the trend, I go from the weekly, I go to the daily. So I could use the 1 day or the 2 days or the 3 days. It's almost the same thing to identify what I call patterns. There are patterns identified on the daily. These patterns are what we call accumulation and distribution patterns. Accumulation and distribution patterns. Once I've identified them on the daily, the final thing I need to come and do, the final thing I need to come and do is that, sorry, um, I mistake my words. I once I've identified the trend on the weekly, then I or the monthly, depending on how long that coin is existing. So if the coin has been existing for more than 3 years, I focus on the monthly and the weekly to identify the trend. If it's less than 3 years, then I just look only on the weekly to identify the trend. Then I come to the daily to now identify the accumulation and distribution levels, which is on the daily. Then I will now narrow down to H4 and H1. Sometimes I don't even use H1. So sometimes I do it. But H1, H4, H2 is the same thing. So the same way I'm saying day one, day two, day three are all in the same category. As far as it's daily, they are still in the same category. So, but to make it simpler, daily, day one is to identify the accumulation distribution zone. So I identify those zones on the daily. Then I come to H4. Now, H4 is where I now use the patterns. These patterns is what gives me my entries. Let me use that word. It gives me my entries. Remember, I said on the weekly, monthly, I identify trends. On the daily, identify accumulation and distribution zones or levels. Then on the weekly, on the H4, sorry, to H1, identify patterns. Now, these patterns is what gives me my entries. Now, you will ask, why do I do this like this? Why do I identify these patterns like this? It's because this I'm doing now provides what we call high probability trades. Now, this is different from analyzing the charts on a smaller time frame of M15, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 5 minutes. All those smaller time frame stuff. Two things it does. Number one, it stresses your mind mentally, especially when it is crypto, because the crypto market, does not trend all the time. In fact, the crypto market ranges 70% of the time and only trends 30% of the time. The major moves in the market that will give you the most amount of money is only 30% of the time. So 70% of the time are people just eating up themselves and traders eating up themselves. And sometimes you see this is why people, they get money and they lose it. They'll make so much money today and they lose everything. Why? Because they don't understand that the crypto market does not trend all the time. And now, we know why most people who leave crypto and they go over to focus on what's it called, on say they want to focus on forex and all that and stuff, and they be like crypto is heavily manipulated. Now the truth is all markets is manipulated, be it forex, be it crypto, they are all manipulated. The difference between the reason why most people will run out of crypto and go to forex is because majority of them who do that trade on a lower time frame. And if you're doing that on a lower time frame on crypto, you could easily be messed up by this manipulative act. In other words, the manipulation could trick you out lose, before moving in your direction. It doesn't mean your analysis was wrong. It just means that it was manipulated and you'll be pained. Why? Because you're dancing around the smaller time frames. And the liquidity in crypto is too small to 100% have sustained smaller time frame movement, except you are somebody who scalps in such a way whereby you're easy to just take profit and run out and take profit and run out. So it's only like most people you see that they try to succeed and they lose. In fact, out of every 10 traders or 100 traders who trade on the smaller time frame in crypto, out of every 100 traders who do that, only 5 or 3 is actually consistently profitable. 100, that is the fact. They might tell you otherwise, but honestly speaking, only 3 or 4 or 5 is consistently profitable. Consistently profitable. The rest are making so much money today and losing everything tomorrow. Why? Because that is how the market is as well. The most successful traders I know as well, even in crypto space, do the same thing which I'm revealing to you guys today. Now, you understand that the entries on the H1 and on the H4 provides what we call a certain level of balance. So my entries are on H1 to H4, H1 to H4. And then, so once I identify these 3 things, this the trend, the accumulation distribution zones, and then identify the patterns, I am good to go. I'm good to go on that trade. I have a certain level of confidence that this trend will not be stopped, that will move very well for me. And now in this way, this is where you can actually take a particular trade where I talked this at the whereby you take it, you risk like 10%, for example, on a particular trade, and by the time you trade gets to your TP, you're making like 50% of your account size or 60% of your account size, or sometimes you might even double your account size. Depends on the ROR. Sometimes you risk, let's say, 20% on that trade, and you're making like double of your account size on just one trade, or 50% of your account size on just one trade alone. Now, it's basically how it is, and you don't have to chase a lot of trades. You could just decide to take just 4-5 trades in a month, and then you've already 10x your account, or your account has gone like 500%. It's just something that is actually very, very easy to do. Now, let's look at the fourth thing I do. Now, this is the fourth thing. When I want to pick a coin, to trade based on my strategy, I taught this in one of the live stream sessions we had this year. I think that the crypto coins in this bear market, in this sector we are in, is divided into 3 categories. The first category is coins that are moving in the same line with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is dropping, they are dropping. If Bitcoin is going up, they are going up. They are moving just like Bitcoin. They are coins in that category. That's the first aspect of tokens. The second aspect of tokens is coins that are moving inversely proportionate to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is going down, they are going up. Bitcoin is going up, they are going down. Like you're looking inversely proportionate to Bitcoin. Now, the third category of coins are coins that are moving regardless of BTC. When I mean regardless of BTC, whether BTC is going down or going up, it is not really their case study. They move regardless of BTC. Sometimes coins in these categories are the ones that also give hints on BTC movements. They give highlights of it. If you sometimes these coins could help you know when BTC is going to dump, or when Bitcoin is going to pump. Why? This is why sometimes you see me, I could come with so much confidence and go live and tell you guys within the next 7 days, Bitcoin is going to drop to this point, Bitcoin is going to go high to this point. Sometimes it's not just about BTC alone. There's how you understand these coins that move regardless of BTC movement that helps you to trigger this. These are patterns you get to see when you look at the market over time. So the crypto, all the coins you see in the market, the massive number of them are all classified in these three categories. So when I want to trade, I look at which of this, the coin I want to trade, which category is this before I even start plotting out that. So that is my strategy. My strategy is 4 things. It's just this. I go to the weekly, monthly, and I identify the trend. Then I go to the daily to identify accumulation distribution zones or levels. Then I go to H4 and H1 to identify the patterns which I use to get my entry as well. And the foundation of it, the above all, is that regardless of whatever strategy, whatever these things I'm doing, I'll first have to ask myself, this coin I'm about to do this on, what class of crypto is this coin? Is it moving opposite BTC, inversely proportionate, or is it moving in line with BTC, or regardless of BTC? Because BTC is king. So if I can identify which category this coin is, I apply this strategy on this coin. Believe me, best believe me, there's an 80 to 90% chance I will nail that trade and make the most amount of money from that trade. It is as simple as ABCD. As I explained it, that's basically how simplified it is. Now, but if I want to day trade, there's something I do which is like I call it the shiftonomics. So I use shiftonomics and the power of 3 to identify day trade, but that is like a different strategy altogether, which does not suit this purpose for this particular live session. It doesn't suit the purpose for this particular live session because it doesn't provide, or it doesn't always provide high probability. So you could lose some, you could gain some, but this now strategy I just shared with you is what I use to get high probability trades. Now, that is number one thing. Your strategy, the strategy you are using is what going to determine how you can be able to make this amount of money within the period of time. Number two is your capital. Your capital. Now, you can't have $100 and think that you can just make a $10,000, $100,000. It's not possible. If you have, let's say, $50,000, for example, it is very easy using what I'm saying to get $100,000. If you have $20,000, it's very easy to use what I'm saying right now to make $100,000. You just need to times 5 that amount and you make $100,000. If you have if you have $10,000, it is very easy to use what I'm saying and teaching to just make $100,000. You just need to 10x the amount and then you've hit $100,000. If you have $5,000 as well, it is possible because you can x20 that amount to hit $100,000. So, but now, the lesser the amount, the more the time, the work and effort to put in. So you can have $100 and want to make $100,000 within a smaller time frame of time. Is it possible? Yes, but it's going to take a longer time. Maybe it's going to take like 1 year. It's going to take like 2 years. It's going to take like 3 years, depending on your IQ level to be able to utilize what is being taught to be able to make money. So your capital is the second thing. What capital do you want to start with? What capital do you want to project with? So when I do trade challenge, like I want to take this amount and I want to flip it to this particular amount, I want to do this. One thing that's very important, one thing that's key that I do from time to time is I get to look at what capital am I starting with. I think I also talked about capital a bit we had last one, something about goals or this. This is very easy. Like I love the 10x concept because the 10x concept is very, very easy. There's also a concept that is called the doubling concept. If you take an amount of money, you double it 10 times, you could be able to hit your goal. It's just like you taking $1,000, you double it to $2,000, and once you double the amount, you're fine. Now you want to focus on doubling that 2,000 to 4,000, and then that's twice. You double the 4,000 to 8,000, that's twice. You double the 8,000 to 16,000, that's 4 times. 16,000 to 32,000, that's 5 times. 32,000 to 64,000, that's 6 times. 64,000 to 7,000 to 78, no, 164,000 to 108,000, that is 64 to 128,000, that should be 7 times. Now, if you do the doubling concept, for example, double this, just you're just focusing on just doubling your money 10 times, you could make it like $1,000 could get to 200,000. But the fact about this is not everybody is this. In fact, it's only 5 out of 10 out of 100% that are disciplined enough to continue that figure like that. Some people might be successful enough to take $1,000 to $10,000 to $20,000, and then they will just break down there and just over to there. But it is still fine. It is still fine. It is still fine. It is still fine because see, there are so many times I've written down goals like I wrote that okay, I want to hit $1 million, for example. And then I do everything within my power, everything I know, and I'm pushing into. I just want to crush this goal and hit this figure. And then at the end of the day, let's say a couple of months down the line, I'm only up like 200K or 300K, 300,000. So I still have like $700,000 to go, or I have like $800,000 to go. And at a point, it will weigh you down like, when are you going to just hit this $1 million? But at the same time, it's cool because you've been able to do this figure. You did this amount. You have to come to a point where you have to appreciate the progress you've gotten so far and not allow where you haven't gotten to eat up your mind. Because if you focus on what you haven't done, it begins to swallow up the possibilities of what you have done. And the possibility of what you have done is so great. It's just a matter of time. Remember, I say that two things you cannot change in life, which is time and change. You can't control these things. The only thing you can do is manage it. So over time, you'll be able to now grow figures. So if you get to the time whereby that 100, 200, or 300 you are at, you can now double it or you can now increase it. And then if you get it, and that's just how it is in goal setting. When you start setting goals, it will get to a point whereby when you finally now cross the $1 million, and then you're not saying you want to hit the next million, you want to hit the next million, it becomes hard for you to get to 10 million. Because hard to, but you still setting those goals. And now do not allow your environment limit the possibilities of the goals you're setting. If you look at the documentary video I posted today, you discover how I was speaking with so much confidence, so much vigor, and most of the things I said, I listen to them now, and I'm laughing over those things I was saying then, because it's like the figures I was speaking then is literally like nothing to me right now. It's not something that it looked maybe a big, a good target then, but now it doesn't even look like a target to me. It looks like something I could just do in a week or in a few days. I could just hit that amount of money. It's not something I'll have to take a long time to project. And now I'm not projecting the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 20 years. That's just how life is. You are in life. You don't pursue your future. You position for your future, because whatever you're looking for is already looking for you. The only thing is that you need to attract it, and in attracting it is when you begin to position your mind to be able to get it. So anything is possible to the person that believes. If you believe that it is impossible to hit an amount of money, a figure, see, nothing anybody's going to teach you in this world will help you get it. The belief system of the person is very, very important. And that's why I'm very careful of the people I choose to listen to. Now, no matter how good a person is, no matter how smart a person is, and this is why most people who are very intelligent, they are always very poor. A lot of intelligent people, in fact, the most intelligent people right now in the world are the poorest. The most intelligent people in the world are the poorest. That's why if you look at the founder of Apple today, Apple is the first American company to hit $1 trillion in market capitalization. Check the founder of Apple. It was stated that he doesn't even know how to write one line of code. He doesn't know one line of code at all. If this man doesn't know one of them, he's not intelligent enough to know the technicalities involved in creating it. But what is he smart about? What is the difference between people who are very intelligent? The ones who are very, very intelligent are the ones who are creating the phones, but he is the one who carries the vision. The people who rule the world, who dominate the world, who control the world, are not the smartest and the most intelligent. They are the people who are the most daring and fully believers. In fact, the people who rule the world are the believers. When I'm really referring to believers, I'm not referring to religion as per what people know as Christianity and all that. So I'm referring to believers. These people are what I call workers of faith, believers in the impossible, believers of what can be. So you, for your personal life, where you are right now in your life, I can't believe for you. Your friends can't believe for you. You have to come to a point to believe that it is possible. I mean, we've seen young people do crazy numbers. You've seen young people do crazy numbers. Like, especially those of you who are, if you're based in most of the first world countries, you meet a lot of young people who are doing crazy amount of money. Like this, sometimes people are not even known on social media. They are not like popular or famous, and they're doing crazy figures. When I mean crazy figures, you can see somebody who is just 20-year-old and the person is worth about $50 million or 60, 70, $80 million. It's insane. And there are a lot of people out there like that who are doing a lot of money. But the key thing is, and when you, this is why most people who live in third world countries, when they relocate to a first world country, after a while you see there's a mental reset. Whenever they come back to the African country where they belong, whether it's Nigeria or Ghana, whatever African country they move from, whenever you see them come back, you notice one thing about them: their mind, their attitude to life changes, their understanding changes, the way they see things changes, because they've moved into an environment of people who are so wealthy, so young. So it is very, 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 very possible. So, like I said, number one is the strategy. Number two is the capital, which is very key and very important. Then number three is how you begin your targets. How you begin your target. So if you have $10,000, your first target should not be making $100,000. Your target should be doubling that money. In other words, your target should be taking it to 100%, just 100%. If you have $1,000, your target is taking it 100%. So if I want to hit $100,000, that is the vision. But the capital I have, if I've decided the capital, my target is just 100%. I'm not targeting $100. Because if I'm able to make 100% using the strategy I get within a week, the next target will still be 100%. So your target should be 100%, nothing more than that. See, this is why you see the rich keep getting richer and the poor is like when in the near success syndrome, because their targets at times are outrageous. They are too ambiguous. They are too big. But if your target is just 100%, you can easily do it repeatedly. Imagine you started with, let's say, $5,000 using what I teach now, and yesterday I told you, I gave a hint, was like, if you are in the trading, what's it called, the Bybit trading network, and a good number of the trades we share there are high probability, and let's say you start with $5,000 and you're copying those trades, and then your target is 100%, and within a month you've made 100%, that's $10,000, and then you tell yourself that by October, November, you are another 100%. That $10,000, you get it to $20,000, and then by December you want 100%. The $20,000 becomes $40,000. You know what happens is that it removes unnecessary pressure from your mind. It removes unnecessary pressure from your thinking. It makes you go with the flow and not to pressure yourself into the markets. So at ease, you just grow and make a lot of money. For example, today I entered only 2 trades or 1 trade today, and I haven't even checked the chart. Like, maybe I'm going to check after this session. I haven't checked. So there are days whereby if those of you want to buy between network, there are days whereby I could post like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different trades at the same time, and there are days whereby I will just post only 1 or 2. I might not even post at all. Why is that? Because I have come to understand the market and how the market works and how the market behaves. Now, remember, when I started this session, I said there are various categories people can make this amount of money, but we're dwelling on just the aspect of trading. Now, the target is 100%. And now this target is, if you haven't registered an account with our Bybit link, make sure you go and register an account with our Bybit link and use it to trade. Now, when you use it to trade, I don't want to say this here, but I announced a bit of it this what it called this year, which is the funding opportunity. Now, the funding opportunity is not even like where the vision I have in mind for the Bybit trading network. Now, over the years, the past few years or so, I have helped a lot of people personally and privately with money to trade, and 9 out of every 10 of them lose the whole money. 9 out of every 10. I don't put pressure on people when I give them money to trade, because it's me like helping them to come to their feet. 9 out of every 10 lose the money. Even the ones that own their own groups and they're teaching people, they are referred to as so-called trading coaches and mentors. A lot of them I have personally helped, and they still lose the whole money. Some of them take money from people and trade, and they still lose the whole money. So 9 out of every 10. And this is not to dwell on that. So, but If you follow what I teach, you will get to a point of comfort and understanding where you will not put yourself under those unnecessary pressure. And let's say you do well, there's a record for let's say for the next 6 months, this into the first Q1 of 2024, you can consistently make 100% of your money. Even if you can do this for 3 months, 100%, 3 months, 100%, second month, 100%, third month, what will start happening is that on Bybit, for example, you will begin to grow on the leadership board, on the global leadership board, or the world leadership board. And once you begin, your record begins to grow on the leadership board, it will be easy for you to get investors if you need, if you want to. Still, it could also be easy for you to get investment fund. And we are creating a particular segment for those who are able to get to this level of consistency by 2024. And this segment we are creating within the Bybit Trading Network is going to be a major form of assistance, because this set of persons will be given a bigger amount of money to be able to trade and be able to utilize it to. Now, why is that? Because these people have proven over time that the record, someone came to me today and the person was like, Chief, I want to do this for. And I'm like, what is your record? Can you send me your record for the past 30 days? Can you send me your record for? This is why I think the last month when we were finishing, coming to do the BTN story there, I talked about people sharing their P&L result for the past 30 days, because it is not a game of the present, it's a long-term thing. Trading is something that if you're trying to make everything now, you will lose everything now. You lose everything. This is why you could have 10 people trading a particular trade. 5 are going to make money, 5 are going to lose money. It's the same trade. What is the difference? Because one person is too greedy and having ambiguous targets, and the other is just focusing on how the person could just get 100% in a month. Now, this is something, let me tell you guys, if you can successfully make 100% on your account every month, 100% every month, and you did it for 3 months, at that peak, you will get to a point whereby you can now easily make 1,000% in a month. Why? Your focus is not 1,000% though, but the market is designed in a way to reward consistency over confusion. To reward consistency over confusion. People who try to put unnecessary pressure to themselves to flip crazy figures within short time, at times they get into a state of confusion and the market deals with them. But if you learn how to be comfortable, so even if it's 500, like what I thought yesterday, you could use it on a small account. So what we're teaching now is for people who have not small account categories. What I thought yesterday, you could use it on $100, $200, $300, $500 accounts, maybe $1,000 account. You can use it. What I'm teaching now is for people from like $2,000, $5,000, 10,000 and above or so. This thing I'm teaching now is a method which will be very, very easy for them, because what happens is that the market begins to open up opportunities whereby you could now even make much money. And this is the funny thing. At times, you could say you want to make 100%, and at the end of the month, you discover that you've ended up making like 200%. That is always how it is at times. Once you get to that state of balance, you will end up making more than you even anticipated, because you are what in a comfortable state of mind and being, and you are following a pattern that could easily get it to you. Now, if you get it, it is very easy. I showed someone a chart that was it last year? I showed someone a chart of somebody who wanted me to trade a very big amount of money, and that was because on WhatsApp there was a time when the year was ending, I posted my trading activities and trading volume on Binance on my WhatsApp status, and I posted how much, I was making every single day. I think I was like, every day if I don't make money at all, I'm making like $1,000 or so. And I from the P2P session, whereby where people convert money, and I just did a record of my P2P session for like 30 days straight up to show how much I was doing. And I posted the video on my WhatsApp status last year when the year was coming to an end. And I posted my trading activity volume or so. So that alone I do not know who captured it or so and sent to a few persons, and a few persons reached out to me, and one of them wanted to give me a fund of about, is it $500,000, at least 600, between 500 and 600,000. I can't even recall exact, but it's a very big fund to be able to trade for him. Now, imagine if I needed it, I wanted it, I could have accepted it, and already I'll be making a lot of money from that, even if it's just 10% I make, and that would be like 50K, or make 10% or 20% of it. Let's say 20, I just make 20%. 20%, like $100,000 already from that huge fund. But I turned it down because I don't need the money. And I got like two, three of them like that. Now it will become easy. Except opportunity goes to those who are prepared and those who are positioned. Now, what I'm teaching you is how you can position in the aspect of trading and investing. Now, let me add a little bit of investing secrets. Let me add a little bit of investing secret. Now, you can get visible. Sometimes, for example, when we started the um, um, what was it called? I'm trying to recall. The ongoing trading challenge in the Bybit platform. I think it's Africa something something something, and the top 10 P&L will be rewarded and all that. And already, I think one or two persons in our Bybit trading network are already like among the top 10. They sent me this and so. I think one or two of them are among the top 10 or so. Why? Because they're able to do follow through very, very well. Very, very, very well. But let me add, let us while we're talking the trading sector, let me add a bit of investment secrets to this that could help you. Now, in 2018, I mentioned three coins, especially in August, which was Chainlink, FTM, and I've forgotten the third, but I think it has to do with H. So I think it was Dodge. So I think it was Dodge. Now, I bought Chainlink then, and between that August and then by January, the Q4, and then the first quarter of the next year, Chainlink had already done 1,000%. This is even before the bull run. We're not even talking about bull run percentage. Like within that period, pre-bull run, it has already done like 1,000%. Now, when you start making gains, let's say 100% of that money you're making, you can tell yourself that you're going to pull out 10% of the profits or 20% of the profits to invest in high potential tokens that, what I mean high potential tokens, for the meantime within this 3 months range. I'm showing you what I do now. This is what I do. I'm looking at, okay, this token within the next 3 months, this could do. For example, we have Dream Chain, which I've been talking about over time. Within the next 3 months, Dream Chain might do like maybe 1,000%, 2,000%, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000%, maybe 10,000%. Who knows? And let's say you started this with $5,000. At the end of the month, you're making like $10,000 already, and you decide to pull out, maybe every weekly you're pulling out some amount of money to buy some Dream coins, and you bought in like with 10%, 3%, and that means your 10% is going to be like $1,000. So at the end of the month, you spent like $1,000 in buying this Dream, and let's say between now and December, it does like 1,000%. That's giving you $10,000 already on your go. So the investment aspect becomes an edge. It doesn't become and that is why most people get very burnt in crypto. They are trying to focus on trading DeFi, for example, DGen, and the more you're trying to trade it on a short-term basis. And sometimes not in fact, out of every 100 tokens, maybe, how do I put this now? 90% of them on a short-term basis are gambling. 90% of them on a short-term basis are gambling. And not everybody is good in gambling. Some people are good in gambling, some people are not good. And the most people who win at times in gambling are those who have an edge. But if you approach trading it on a mid-term basis and a long-term basis, like an investor, you will win more and you will lose less. You will win more and you will lose less. Do not be carried away with what happens in media. People could be posting that they are making 1,000% every day, and it's a lie. People could be posting that they're making 10,000% every day, and it's a lie. There's a lot of lie going on around in the internet and in the space we are in. People fake things, people forge things. I know these things. When I see this is why sometimes I'm not moved with a lot of things you see online. I know these things. And most of us, it's just funny that people are victims of this thing. And people, you know the funny thing about people, if they get to expose some persons, people be like, you start hating the people they are exposing. Look at this person was this. But the truth, if you're to be very truthful in yourself, you were moved by those things that person was saying. Your greed, the greed in you pushed you to those persons. And when you push to this person, you discover that it is the more you look, the less you see. At the end of the day, you feel trapped. But it is your greed that led you to that person. It's just how it is. Women's, especially Africans, I think is the thing that is one thing that kind of limits Africans. Their mindset is so bonded in such a way that we are so moved with what we see that if something is false or fake, we can just accept it and just bring it like that. And that's how it is in the space we're in. So you want to be very, 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 very careful. Very, very careful. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a very good copywriter. I'm very good in copywriting in the sense of I can take something and make you believe if I want to, I can. It's not like I'm not saying because I don't you know there are people who say things because they can't do it. It's something that anyone who knows me knows I can do it. But I don't do it because I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. So if those who want to receive it as it is will listen to it, that's why sometimes I have so many people who go here, there, go there, they go a lot of places and they'll still end up coming back to shift. They'll still end up coming like those simple things and those things Shifu taught are actually the truth. They're actually the truth. Because by the time they've tried to go around, they've lost so much money and they come. And this doesn't mean that everything we do, there is not going to be losses. There will definitely be losses, but the losses will be minimal than macro. For example, we recently bought in, there was a pre-sale that was done, which was, I don't know what's his name again, is it Escat or so? Expected it seemed to deliver on whatever they are doing. But it turned out that the pre-sale, a lot of people sold. And personally, me, I'm even down in what I bought. I haven't even sold. Like what I bought is almost ridiculously low. And I tried reaching out to the team, but they haven't replied me or sent message to know like what is happening and all that. So they haven't replied me. But now that is like, but however, I think they're trying to do efforts and all that. And maybe within the next 1, 2, 3 months, you might just see them just pick up strangely, very, very well. Let me and just make gains and all that. There's always that story like that where people get to make a lot of money out of the space, a lot of money out of it, whereby a coin flops. So a coin could flop in the launch, and as long as this is one key thing. Let me give this is a very powerful secret. If you understand this, it will help you in your crypto investments. In life, generally, everything in life boils down and falls down to leadership. Everything in life boils down and falls down to leadership. Everything in life boils down and falls down to leadership. The success of a country, the success of a continent, the success of a company, the success of a family, the success of a group of people, the success of a church boils down to leadership. Now, this brings it down to crypto. The success of a project, amidst everything, boils down to leadership. There are leaders, team leaders that are relentless. Like, they are relentless. I've been in platforms. I forgot there's a platform there. Is it in 2021? There was a platform called Poker Classic. I don't know if you guys remember it. For those of you who were here in 2021, we invested in Poker Classic, which was DOTC. And I think the founder is I've forgotten where, but it's an Arab. The founder of that token is an Arab. The dude was so relentless. He was like, his project must succeed. He was doing everything he can. He was putting his personal money and stuff. And because of that, it just relaxed. Within weeks, boom, the token pumped massively, like 700%, and it was just going high and high and high and high and high and high. Why? Because a leader was relentless. Your team say that this team must work. Now, even if you have the best community, you have the best whatever products, because there are platforms that have best products, best community, and yet they're still flopped. They're still flopped. Why? It's because of leadership. Is the leadership really serious in this field? So imagine a leadership that wants to just make money from a project and just want to make money and run. Now, no matter what you do, if you don't save your capital, it's gone. It's gone. So it is one key thing that's helped me in project at times. So sometimes I'm not 100% concepts in, like, for example, the reason I reached out to this project that we usually did, their pre-sale, the reason I reached out to the leadership, which I have not gotten a reply, any response yet or so. But if I don't get a reply within the next 48 hours, I'll make a post about it and all that also. But about what I feel as well, because the most thing I want to hear from the team behind the platform. What are they wanting? What are they going to be doing? Are they going to stick to what they are doing? Are they going to be to gain confidence, to be comfortable or not? Also, so a foolish leadership can wreck a great project. A good and a serious and determined leadership can make a good project. And this is what determines some project I can hold for a long time. I've been holding Daffy for 2 years now. Why? Leadership. Leadership makes me comfortable in holding projects for a very, very long time. For a very, 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 very long time. Why is Ethereum going to succeed? Leadership. Everything boils down to leadership. There are projects, there are tokens that came the same time. We have there are projects that have gone into extinction. A lot of them then, like Dash. Dash came and did so well. Dash has gone to extinction. Monero has been trying a bit, but it's almost like in extinction itself. Litecoin has even been trying because of the stuff they are doing. But I'm trying to recall that there is this project called Veg. It's like almost in extinction. There are many of them that used to be in top 10 tokens there from 2017 or 2016 period. They are not, I don't even know if they are, I think they might still be in top 500 or so. So many of them, some of them have gone to like top 1,000. They have died. What is the difference between Bitcoin, Ethereum, the coins that are still topping the chart, Chainlink and all this? Leadership. Leadership. If you can study the leadership of projects, you'll be able to make more money than people who understand the tokenomics of projects. I repeat, if you can study the leadership of projects, you can make more money than people who understand DeFi. You can make more money than people who understand all the grammars involved in crypto. You will make more money than them. This is me, Shifu, telling you. You will make more money than somebody who understands all the courses, who have gone through all the courses in crypto. If you can understand leadership. Why was Phantom doing so well and booming and succeeding and excelling so well then? And a lot of project was being made. Leadership. Leadership. This is one thing that is rarely talked about when people talk about researching coins and cryptos. If you get this, if you just get this, everything is additional. Everything is additional. You will just be able to, like, you could make a lot of money. You could just know where you can have peace of mind, where you shouldn't have peace of mind as well. I know that. I've seen that now this project. I thank God I didn't actually talk about it publicly. Thank God I didn't talk about it publicly at all. But that project is, I think it's called Teletron. Teletron, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Discord-like payment, or a Patreon kind payment for Telegram platforms and channels. The utility is super. Utility is amazing. It's something that could easily fly. I watched the project for a couple of months. I actually bought into it, but I watched it move from top to the drain and I lost the whole money. Why was that? The leadership gave up on the project. I was like, there's not working, they have to move on, and the crypto market don't like utility and all that and all that and all that. But however, it was a very amazing project. So the project could be very good, very fine. But if the leadership gives up, if the team gives up, this is why sometimes people will be like, you see, having information is like the superpower of crypto. The greatest edge in crypto you can ever get is getting informations on time, classified informations on time, because this information comes directly from the source. It comes directly from the team. That is where you are super confident and you can make the most amount of money when it comes to investing in cryptos. So let's say you have this. Let's say you just have like 5 cryptos. Sometimes you don't even need much. 5 cryptos that Okay, you're looking at, and then this five. So why do people monitor whales for time? Sometimes the reason why some people monitor whales wallets and why I see some whales wallets have an edge to make a lot of money, because these whales have this direct classified information from the teams. The whales is not banking on the technology that you're studying. It's not banking on the utility you're studying. They are banking on the team that they are connected with. So because they are banking on the team, they have more confidence and they can slip in their major funds there. This is how big investors think. Now I'm teaching you guys how billionaires think. You want to end up being a billionaire, you think like a billionaire. I'm telling you how they think. So you can utilize it even in a small scale investment and you can make a lot of money out of it as well. And then prosper expensive. So now utilize what I said in the trading, you'll be able to hit the goal. And then add the investment aspect as an additional to it. Maybe 3 or 5 you major on, and then a percentage from the profit you're getting in weekly into this portfolio, 3 to 4 portfolio. And then by the end of Q4 or this end of the year, you'll be very grateful that you were on this session, you listened to what I said, you applied it, and then you made a lot of money out of it as well. See, the year started January, February, Feb, April. You've been playing around, doing a lot of things, and it's as if you're either in the next stage or you're moving forward, you're coming back. You're not even, you can't actually look at what you is tangible enough for you to make progress. Now I've given you an edge. What I taught yesterday, what I taught right now is an edge that could help you get to where you need using the last 100 days you have. Do not joke with the next 100 days you have. It's an opportunity that you could change and rewrite your story and make a whole lot of money and benefit and gains for yourself within the next 100 days as well. So, guys, utilize it very, very well. For those who got the bull run course, I'll be creating the bull run group later this month as well, or this week, either the new week or next week. I think by next week I should create the group as well. So if you got the bull run course, a message will be sent to all of you so you can actually plug into the bull run. For those who have access to the bull run course, you have the bull run group, so we can start holding special meetings with only people who are in that group or platform ahead of the bull run as well. You'll have an edge. So regardless, I've given so much information, and we're going to have another session maybe by Sunday into next week as well. And I'm going to be teaching specific topics where I'm going to give specific and classified directions, and that I've been practical enough. I have utilized it and share it to you guys. And most times, like I've been doing, I'll be sharing a bit of my stories in part as well to practically authenticate what I teach and how it works and how you can utilize it for yourself as well. Cheers, guys. See you when I see you again.